The health department reports zero COVID-19 deaths for the third consecutive day due to technical issues. Metro Manila is seen to ease to more relaxed alert level 3 following the decline in COVID-19 numbers in the past week. The Octa Research Group, however, maintains that the capital region is generally still at high risk for COVID-19. The COMELEC is urged to come up with alternative modes of voting as the pandemic is expected to persist through 2022. And several pop icons take part in a music festival to raise awareness on several issues such as COVID-19 vaccination. Focused and fearless, here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. The MMDA expresses hope that Metro Manila will be placed under a more relaxed alert level 3 by the end of the month. In a radio interview, MMDA Chairman Benhar Abalos noted the declining COVID-19 reproduction rate in NCR. Metro Manila is currently under alert level 4. But once the region is placed under alert level 3, restaurants can accommodate up to 30% off indoor seating capacity for all customers, regardless if vaccinated or not. The health department reports over 20,000 new COVID-19 cases. This has brought the country's total caseload to 2,490,000, some 161,400 of which are still considered active. The DOH also reported that 72 duplicates were removed from the total case count. No new COVID-related deaths were recorded today due to technical issues in COVID Kaya. The death toll remains at 37,400. Now, total recoveries have reached 2,292,000, with over 24,000 new survivors logged in the past 24 hours. 21.9% of the 74,400 total tests conducted yielded positive results. The Octa Research Group maintains that Metro Manila remains at high risk for COVID-19. Based on their latest report, the NCR averaged 4,220 cases in the past 7 days. The one-week growth rate is at a negative 20%, while the reproduction number is at 0.94. Octa also classified Navotas, Malabon, Manila, Valenzuela, and Pateros as moderate risk. The rest of the NCR LGUs remain at high risk. Now, a city in the province of Cagayan is asking the IATF for a lockdown as COVID-19 cases continue to rise in the area. In an earlier interview here on One News, Isabela Governor Rodito Albano said that Ilagan City is looking to lock down its locality amid a surge in COVID-19 cases. Albano noted that bed capacity is over 175% in Isabela, meaning that there are no COVID-19 beds available.
He is going for is asking the IATF for a lockdown starting tomorrow maybe. But I told them, if you do that, please let's notify the IATF before doing it because the COVID cases there is surging already.
Albano, meanwhile, said they are expecting more COVID-19 vaccines to be delivered to the province. He noted that around 15% of the total population of Isabela have been vaccinated, and they look to inoculate 90% of the residents by March.
For the entire population of Isabela, we have 15% total of vaccinated individuals. We're expecting Secretary Galvez and Secretary Duque promised me this week they'll be giving me about 120,000 doses of vaccines.
Meanwhile, heart disease is still the cause of most deaths in the country, with over 56,000 Filipinos succumbing to it in the first half of the year. Camille Samonte has the details.
Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, heart diseases remains the top cause of death in the Philippines. Based on the last report of Philippine Statistics Authority, from January to June 2021, more Filipinos died because of ischemic heart diseases or illnesses causing oxygen deprivation in the heart. Cerebrovascular, meanwhile, plays second. This happens when blood flow to your brain stops and may lead to stroke. It is followed by cancer, diabetes, and COVID-19. Medical experts from Singapore explain that there are two reasons why many people suffer from heart diseases. It could be caused either by hereditary risk factors or an unhealthy lifestyle. Oftentimes, eating too much fatty food, salt, and sweets may lead to heart illness, as well as lack of exercise and excessive drinking and smoking. If you experience chest discomfort, shortness of breath, tiredness, dizziness, and palpitation, it is best to consult a doctor. A medical expert said most patients with heart diseases are already severe and has complications due to irregular checkups.
It is important to be careful with our lifestyle, be aware of symptoms, not to push back and assume it's harmless. These symptoms of shortness of breath and chest pain may be something like a warning sign, and usually that should be evaluated. I think identifying disease early and treating them earlier, it remains the most important tool, as you know, prevention is so much better than cure.
Another doctor, meanwhile, emphasized the importance of having a healthy lifestyle to prevent heart diseases.
We always advise lifestyle changes. Again, in terms of lifestyle, exercise, weight loss, and a low-salt diet. So again, even before we consider further therapy, look at the patient in general. Is the patient overweight? Is he sleeping well enough? Is he very stressed? Again, see if there's any adjustment to lifestyle that can be achieved to lower the blood pressure.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. With 8 months left before the 2022 elections, a poll watchdog calls on the Commission of Elections to find alternative modes to or of voting amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Camille Samonte with the details.
Election watchdog Contradaya is urging COMELEC to come up with alternative modes of voting. These would be for those under quarantine and residents of areas under granular lockdown. Contradaya convener Professor Danilo Araw says COMELEC should be creative and inclusive, but still in compliance to election rules.
Just because you're COVID positive and you cannot go out of the house, you cannot vote anymore. Hindi po pwede yon. Pwede kasing ma-disenfranchise yung maraming tao, lalo na hindi natin alam yung usapin ng pandemya sa kasalukuyan at kung alin sa mga grupo, sa mga lugar ang masasubject sa granular lockdown.
Araw is suggesting a roving precinct in quarantine facilities in areas under granular lockdown. These could reach residents and COVID-19 patients who are unable to physically go to polling places. For Araw, the expansion of early voting mechanism is another way to accommodate affected voters.
Let's say a month before the elections, pag kami naka-granular lockdown na mga lugar, pabotohin sila ng mas maaga.
Araw emphasizes that no one should not be deprived of their right to vote, regardless of the situation. The COMELEC previously said that isolation polling places will be set up on election day. However, this would only accommodate voters who have COVID-19 symptoms. Contradaya also calls on COMELEC to extend the voters' registration from September 30 to January 2022.
Halos 8 buwan ang nawala sa Metro Manila. So reasonable lang na October, November, December, January. So you at least magbigay ka ng 4 na buwan na extension para dun sa 8 buwan na nawala.
The COMELEC, however, is looking into the possibility of extending the registration by a week only. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
Let's now take a look at the latest developments on politics. Vice President Leni Robredo said she would continue pursuing her unity talks with potential presidential candidates for the 2022 elections. Robredo expressed confidence that the opposition would come together before the filing of candidates from October 1 to 8. Robredo also assured her supporters that she is listening to their calls.
Despite the knowledge,
the office of Senator Panfilo Lacson refuted claims that the lawmaker is withdrawing his presidential bid for the 2022 polls. Partido Reforma spokesperson Ashley Aceldillo said the Lacson-Soto tandem is, quote, growing from strength to strength. She added that both candidates have been laying the groundwork. And 2 parties under the House Makabayan bloc named their respective party list nominees for the 2022 elections. The Kabataan and the Bayan Muna party list both named 7 nominees for Congress. They hope to secure more seats in the elections for the upcoming 19th Congress. Now, in entertainment, some of the world's top pop stars headlined a musical festival to raise awareness on climate change, poverty, and COVID-19 vaccines. Jennifer Lopez, Shawn Mendes, and Lizzo were just some of the performers at the Global Citizens Festival in New York City. The music festival was also simultaneously held in Paris, Los Angeles, and other cities across the globe. Lizzo talked to the crowd about climate change, while Billie Eilish expressed the importance of taking care of our planet.
This is real, like it's no joke, and it really makes me hopeful for the world because I find myself completely hopeless most of the time about how much people don't care about the world and like where we live, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippines Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.